Hey there, everybody. I hope you can see me. I'm supposed to be live there. I'm looking, it's not showing up yet in YouTube, but it might be behind a few seconds. There we go. And I have two screens going, so I am watching the chat, but understand if I'm doing a share screen, I probably won't see the chat till I come back into the main window. So be patient with that because I don't have a monitor. And tonight we're going to talk got backup. And everybody remember that if you have any questions, I always want them in the chat, just like we've always done. This is no different, even though we're in a different format for tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and start the screen, share the screen, and we're going to go from there. So I am actually, first off, going to go into our own backup. Let's see, I want to get into, I'm in the backup. Can you see it yet? Let's see. Okay, it takes a few seconds. We're about a second or two behind. So I'm in the got backup back office. And the very first thing you're going to see is the video that's in the welcome screen. So make sure and watch that. That helps you a lot. All right. So now, your back office may not look exactly like this, and that's okay. People that have, um, people who have just got backup, they're going to see the logo up here, okay? But if you've got other programs that you've got that are part of our system, then your logo might say Now Lifestyle, it might say Synshark, it might say Viduber. It doesn't matter. What really matters is that you understand that we're kind of set up all the same way right here, okay? So the very first thing I want you to look for after you've done that video is right here where it says Digital Tools. And that's where our Got Backup can be found, is inside of there. In fact, we'll come into this and look at it more than once. The very first thing, if you want to use the tool, is to click Use the Tool. Okay? Whoops. We got to let that log in again. We've been logged out. So that's not a problem. This is what you're going to see when you come into the back office. Of course, it depends on whether you have a user, a personal user account, or most of us are buying what's called a family account, which means you have 6 terabytes. That's not gigabytes, that's terabytes that is available to you to share or to keep to yourself. Now, I haven't yet shared any of it to me, anyone in my account yet, but I plan to do it as soon as we have those phone apps, which are coming soon. And I'm real excited about that. That's the newest thing that's going to be available to us pretty soon is the phone apps. Of course, it takes a while. You've got to qualify to get into the Apple Store or the Google Store. But once that's in there, then we're going to be able to have ability to do this directly from our phone, although there are some workarounds to do that. But tonight I'm just going to be basic. I do have some other things I can share with you that are a little more advanced, but I'm going to start out basic. I know we got a lot of brand new people here. I see all of you saying hello. I'm just going to say hello mass to all of you because I can't call out all the names, but I would like you to know that I do notice that you're saying hello. And so this is the first screen. The very first thing you're going to want to make sure and do is if you're in a Mac, then you're going to use the Mac download, okay? If you're in the Windows, then you're going to use the Windows download, okay? And it looks like you're seeing it. I'm watching my screen uh, on another one, and you can hear me just fine, I hope, because I don't hear anyone saying anything to me directly. So are you hearing me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? I'm seeing that I have microphone, but I don't know whether you're hearing me. Okay, good. You are hearing me. Okay. So make sure very first thing that you download whichever app is appropriate for your machine. If you're a Mac, download the Mac. If you're a Windows, download the Windows. And also wanted to real quickly, if we go down to, I've got too many windows open, sorry about that. If we go down to the download folder, which is what happens when you download it, then it goes in here, right? Okay. I'm not going to download it because I've already got it installed, but that's where you would find it, is in your download folder. It's going to be a zipped file. Make sure that you unzip it. What happens after that is it's an actual exec file, or what they call for an application. It's a little app that you are going to install on your machine, whichever one you have. Like I said, a Mac or a Windows, you're going to install it. And from there, then you are able to get in and create your actual program. The next thing that's going to happen, I'm going to go, I have a bunch of sync going, but I'm going to open this up. And it might take a second here for you to see it. I'm waiting for it to show up. I'm seeing that it's coming in about a second or two later than when I actually do it. So I'll do it as slow as possible. You can see that I've already got some folders set up. I actually have my system coming from a different drive, not the C drive, but the concepts are the same, okay? When you want to create what's called a sync, which is what's going on with all of this, all you would do is add a folder, okay? So I've got my cursor on the button right now, and I'm clicking it, and when I click it, I am going to come down to the Explorer window and be able to pick something that I want to add. And you might notice this is where mine are living right now. They're not on my C drive because I made it possible. You can actually install it. If you change it willingly, you can change it to another drive. I have other drives besides this one. So I'm going to actually just pick something for the heck of it to create a new sync folder, okay? And then once you have created a sync folder, you simply say that, and then you can create a folder. They like you to create a folder where it's going to go, and I'm actually going to delete this afterwards. K files, I'm just going to say that's what the drive's number is. And then I'm just going to click OK and add sync. And in a few seconds, it's actually going to come and create that folder. Okay? And that is simply all you have to do to get started for most of you. There is some workarounds if you have limited drive space and you don't want it to be on the drive. One thing I'm going to also show you is what it looks like when you go. All right, I have to just ignore this for a few minutes. What you need to do here is when you want to go to the back office, I'm going to actually go from my own computer from my own back office, because I already have all my files in place, and I'm not going to want to do it from another application that's not correct. So remember, you always use the tool to open it. Use the tool, wait for a few seconds for it to show up. There it is. This is actually my own personal back office. And to get into the actual cloud files, you would do it from this green button that says auto login. And because you're logged in to the back office, I'm going to be addressing that, Stu. I actually have it where it's syncing from my OneDrive. You can do that. You can make a sync file to your OneDrive. You don't have to actually upload then. You can just let it recognize when there's new files in there. because OneDrive will constantly be adding more files. So if you have to upload, then that means that you are paying attention to it. And the biggest secret of working with Got Backup right is to make it as automatic as possible, depending on what you have. Now, there are some I actually uploaded manually because I wanted them there faster, but you don't have to do that unless you want to. That's optional. Okay? But I'll show you right now in my own backup, I do actually have a sync file that is, I call it from C. These are the things that are coming onto my C drive. And you might notice I have the ones from my iPhone actually backing up here. And the way I did that is there's an iCloud to desktop application that you can download to your computer, and then you can actually put that in as one of your backups. So I'm not paying attention to these because they're backing up automatically. So is my OneDrive, and so is my download folder, which really makes it really nice. You don't have to do a lot of work to get this going, and that's the most important thing. You don't want it to be a lot of work, or it won't be fun, right? Go ahead and put questions in. I'll do my best to answer them as I'm going along. That's why I have a second screen. I'm actually watching on the second screen there. If people ask questions, I may miss it, so make sure, and if I didn't get it, to ask again, okay? Because it depends on whether I happen to look at the right time, whether I see your question. I'm going to go back now to our Got Backup that I have as a dummy file because I have more to show you there, and I want to make sure. Yeah, iCloud to PC. I did actually do that, Bruce, and I can't remember exactly what the app is called, but it is something you can get. Just look it in Google on the internet and find it, because it's not an app that you would find in the store, okay? But it is iCloud. All you did do then is log in as you would from your phone into your iCloud, and then that lets it download to your PC. And once you do that, you don't have to pay attention to what's going on with your phone either, because it's downloading. And then if you have if you've created a sync file like I just showed you, then it's going to be in your backup all the time. Really, really helps you a lot that way. And so the next thing I want to show you is, you might notice that there's a little deal here called lead capture system. Joe made a point to ask me today to explain what that is, because a lot of people don't know that you can actually email your leads. That's really, actually, really important, because you can be so good at getting people on the leads, but if you're not emailing them and you're just letting the company do the work, I can promise you they won't stay because they don't know who you are. And it's really, really important to do that. And I want you to notice when I bring my this up here, I come up here to, you can see that there's several choices you have. You can create a follow-up. You can do a broadcast, which is what I do most of the time. And you can send you send a broadcast, and broadcast is where they live after they've been sent. But the first thing you do is you actually click this, and you of course want to add whatever list you have. And if you're in Got Backup only, that's the only list you're going to have. But the major thing that I think is really awesome is just recently they introduced templates. So you don't even have to design an email. You have one right here. You simply choose which one you want to use. So let's say I want to use this one. Hello. It's taking a while because it's slow. Come on. I want that. Yeah. It's not letting me do it. Maybe it's because this system is actually a dummy account. But if I went over to my own account again and come back here and go back to my email, oh, right, it's in here, to the lead capture side, because I have two sides. There's actually two email systems, the lead capture system and the SendShark or email system. But again, you'll notice we've got this list and choices. If I wanted to send a broadcast, I would just click right here. You got to add the list you're going to have. They're all going to be on the left, and you want to move them to the right. Okay? That's the major, most important thing to do. And of course, I usually just send it to everybody. I don't separate them out. Again, you've got these different ones here. I'm going to use this one just for the heck of it. Okay, you'll notice it shows up down here, but it needs some work. It's not ready to go yet. You can put your own logo in here. You can put your own title. And of course, this is just fake text. You have to replace it. But there's another thing that's really cool here is there's these little icons. And these are icons, but they become actual links here. If I click this link right here with that picture selected, it can actually become a linked picture, allowing you to put your own personal Facebook, whatever you want in here. Mine personally, I have two. I don't have a Twitter. I closed mine a long time ago. Sorry. I don't use Instagram much, so I got rid of that one. But I have a Facebook and YouTube, and I use them extensively, right? So I'm going to have both of these become links. So what we want to do first is you need to go grab whatever your link is. And I'm in here. Now, this might, I got a tickle. Sorry about that. I'm in my own Facebook right here. So then I'm going to come on back to my profile. I've got Facebook's. Sorry. Oh, man. I've got Facebook, the Facebook icon selected. Okay. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to copy paste my profile in here. Okay. And then I'm going to put Linda's Facebook in here. That's what is going to show up when they put their mouse over it. And then I'm going to say new window because I don't want them to close the email. All right. Say okay. So that's already been set up, and you can do the same thing if you have a YouTube account. If you don't have a YouTube account, just delete it. Make this work for you by making the changes that you need to make. If you don't have a logo or you don't want to put anything up here, you can actually delete this. You could actually say, I don't want that. So I'm going to, or you can just put anything in there you want. You simply just upload and browse out and go look and see if you've got it. And I happen to have, it's not there. I happen to have one. I think it's in my pictures. And if I don't, that's okay too. But that's my thumbnail from tonight, but I thought I had one. Oh, here it is right here. This is the one I use actually all the time, and I've made that in Canva. And it actually goes with the red one, so that's the one I actually picked. And you want to look at also the size of the picture before you go putting it in and make sure it's correct. And so this is 600, which means pixels. And that's a pretty good amount. And I had already made this the right size, so I'm going to add that. And so now I have a logo up here. And of course, this part you want to get rid of so that it's not showing. And then make sure that you fill in, you don't have to have a title if you don't want to, but just what are you going to write here? It's going to have to be your own stuff, whatever it is. Okay. Hi, this is Linda. Oops. I am happy that you have subscribed. I have a webinar tonight, which we're on right now, right? I want to invite you. Here's the link. And then you'd put, guess what? The link of what you have in the way of your own webinar link, which you should find in your email. They're already set to your username. But we also, I can, Joe, would you mind, since you're in the chat there, give them the link they need for the webinar that's cookied to them? If you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. But that would be a very simple, easy, and friendly email that you could send to people that are involved with that are on your list and you're interested in. Because guess what you're doing with your leads? You're actually warming your leads up. They come to you as perfect strangers. They don't know you. They don't know really very much about the company either. Now, they're going to get company emails anyway. But what you're going to do here, you're not going to be trying to sell them the company. You're going to sell them yourself by just being friendly. That makes it so very nice. I mean, if you think about it, every time that you've joined anything, or the reason why you're here tonight, because you joined somebody that took the time to spend some time getting acquainted with you and being willing to maybe send you a nice little friendly email, an invite to a webinar. That's something anybody could do. All right. So I want to delete the iPhone photos off my PC after bringing them to Got Backup. Awesome. That is a good question, Bruce. I'll get to that in just a few seconds after I finish this part, because that is a good question. A lot of people, I have some things that are just on the cloud, and I have some things that are also on my hard drive. So I'll show you in just a minute what to do with that. But I recommend absolutely that you always, at least 3 times a week, I do it 6 times a week, once a day, I send an email out and I always do a broadcast. I don't do follow-ups. That's just my own opinion. So I am a paid member and still keep getting emails asking me to pay to join. Ron, that is happening to all of us. Don't worry about it. But that gives you a chance to see what the company is sending to people. It doesn't have anything to do with you personally, because the company doesn't have you separated out because you're a member. I hope that makes sense. We're all on one list, okay? We're all on one list. We're all pretty much getting the same emails, okay? And so if you're a paid member, which I am, of course, too, we're still seeing the same emails. And you also might also check and see if you have opted into one of your own pages, because that will cause you to get that kind of email for sure. So that would be the possibility. So I'm not going to actually add this. Well, actually I could, but it's not going to actually go out because, I didn't get a subject in here. So I need a subject. Make sure you do that part. And then you click on down here to the very bottom. Do you see this button that flashes red and green? That is how you add that. And then for it to become an actual in the queue email, there's one more step. I'm not going to do it with this one, but it's important for you to see it. Do you see this plus? I'll wait till it comes up. Do you see this plus that I've got my mouse over? Make sure and click that. That puts you in the queue so that your email goes out. If you don't click this, it remains in uh, the format of being basically a draft. All right? So you have to click this in order for it to go into the queue. And then it'll go into the queue. However, you can also set these up to go anytime you want. Like I usually do my emails in the morning and I set them up to go out at 1500, which is actually 3 hours ago or 2.5 hours ago, whatever it was. And that's about that's about 1:30 usually. I just kind of have found that that works really good for me. But you find your sweet spot and you make it something you do daily is my feelings about that. Make it an important thing to do. Regardless of what products you own in our company, you're taking the time to get people on your leads, so you want to take the time to show them that you're a real person that cares. And that really makes a difference. Now, I need to get back to Bruce's question. I want to delete what's on my iPhone. Okay, so let's just say I need to close this. All right, if I come back to where you can see my stuff here, this is actually the backup folder, but the actual iCloud's drive right here and right here, that's actually my photos that are uploading to the cloud right now. As you can see them, those are actually coming into them right here, and I haven't done one for a while, but these are the ones that I have. So if I actually go over, I need to come back to the digital folder and go to my Got Backup again. And if you go to the auto login, if you want pictures to just be here and not on your hard drive, the very easiest possible way to do that is not to sync them, but to actually just manually upload them. And then you can do whatever you want with what's on your hard drive. All right? So let's say I have a desire to put a few pictures in there. I'm going to say, I'm going to call it test iCloud. And it can help if I can spell. Okay, so test iCloud. This is one I'm going to delete, but I want you to see what it is. Okay, now I have an empty folder. You can see there's nothing in here. All right. And so that I'm going to actually upload it. Now, the way you do that is you've got an empty space here. You need to actually click the button up here that says plus. All right. And when I plus, then you have some choices here. You can upload a file, you can add a new folder, you can add a text document, but in this case, I want to upload a file or upload a set of files, okay? So I'm going to go to that iCloud folder right here, right here. This is where those pictures are that I told you about. And all you have to do is choose what you want to go in that cloud only folder. So I'm just going to let it put all of this in there. Oh, I'm sorry, it's downloading instead of uploading. Let's go to the right place. All right, let's go to pictures. And here's some pictures I have in one of my folders. So let's just say I'm going to put those in there. So these are going to upload into this test iCloud folder. See how quickly that happened? Is that amazing or what? So even if you happen to be like me and my C drive is actually small, it doesn't hold all of what I want. I actually bought an external, but you don't have to do that anymore if you don't want to, which really makes this cool for people maybe on a low budget or you just want it to be in the cloud. So let's just pretend I don't want these on my hard drive anymore. I can just go to those files in the computer and delete them. Or if they're on the phone, I can go to the phone and I can delete them. Okay, I don't know what that means, Bruce. You're writing some weird stuff there. Okay, did I miss any important questions that you need answered? I don't see any particular questions, but if you wrote one earlier, particularly write them in again if you need help with something in particular with Got Backup so that I can answer it. And we're already been on for over 30 minutes. That's pretty cool. I want to show you some other things that are pretty cool that I don't think that Joel's made a big deal about, but they're just pretty awesome if you think about it. Do you see this up here? These icons across the top here? That means you can actually sort your files by, for instance, you can sort your files by photos. You can sort your files by music. And you actually have, and this is really, really awesome as far as I'm concerned, a music player inside of Got Backup. Now, I don't know about you, but that was really something I really wanted to do. Okay, Sharon, please go ahead and write your question in again because it's the way the chat goes so quick. I don't always see it, but I'd be glad to answer it if you wouldn't mind writing it again. Yes, and don't do an audio. You need to type it in, please, because otherwise I won't see it. All right? Very important to see your questions and answer them. Of course, you can become a reseller. That's what this is all about. This is a reseller account. You do have links. Let me go and make sure that you know where that is. Okay, we're going to go back. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. We're going to go back to Got Backups, the system, the one that is the dummy account. And I'm going to go back to the Got Backup. And you might notice I didn't go to the other part here. There's another little piece, and that is our reseller tools. There is a retail version of our account, but most of us are buying a family account, which is also a reseller account. And you might also notice that immediately what came up were some really awesome looking pages. And in order to have these pages available with your own username on them, you simply click this and choose the link, which will be on the bottom of the page. Now, this is a dummy account, but you would simply copy, or you also have the choice of creating what they call a tracking link as well, which is really nice. A tracking link means that you can put a little code on the back of it. Say it's okay, Got Backup is for 5 people and devices. Yes, Sharon, it is. There are 2 accounts available. There's a personal and there's a family. The family is the one that lets you share with other people and other devices, okay? And the family is the one that you want if you want to share with other people. I hope that makes sense to you. 6 people counting yourself, Sharon. So you have 5 other people you can share with. If you have that many you want to share with. I'm going to go ahead and click Got Backup again and click Use this tool. And when I go in there, you might notice this is a family account. It says 6 users, which means you and 5 others. And you can add that person simply by clicking the button that says add a new user. And all you have to do is put in their name, their email, make a password for them, which they can change if they want to, and then add them. And guess what happens? They're actually going to get an email with that information on it, and that will allow them to use it. And they don't have to be in your own household, they can be anywhere where they can get to the internet. Isn't that cool, Sharon? Anywhere. They could be in Japan, they could be in Africa, they could be in England. Doesn't matter. As long as they can get to the internet, they can use this system. And that makes this particularly amazing, in my opinion. And of course, you can have 5 other people using it, depending on how much space you need. Make sure you're using the space you need for yourself. But I'm going to add my kids because then that lets them have the chance to back up and they don't have to pay for it because I put them under my account, right? Or if I mean $10 is no big deal for most people, they can handle that. I was using Backblaze before Got Backup became available, and Backblaze charges you $7 for one computer. So if you have 3, say like you have, in my case, I have a tower and I have a laptop and I have a phone. Okay, that's 3 devices, right? I would have to pay 3 different service fees to use Backblaze, whereas I don't have to do that with this. That's really pretty awesome if you think about it. I don't have to do that. I can be 3 users or I can add 5 users. However many you want to add, you can do that. How does this compare with Apple's iCloud? iCloud does not have an affiliate program. iCloud has a limit to how much space you can use. You can run out real fast, I can promise you. That's why I put the stuff on my hard drive because I was running out of iCloud space. Because I think they only give you about, I think it's like 500 gigabytes. It's not even a terabyte. So iCloud is 50. Oh my God, that's really small. You can run out of space in a day. Oh, Lordy, I have already used 1T all by myself, telling you the truth. That's what's happened. So, and okay, a lot of people ask about Google Photos. Well, they're the same thing. I think they allow a little bit more than that. And then, yeah, they charge you if you want to use more space. So, what's the better deal? Right here. No brainer. Oh, yeah. So I'm looking for questions. Does everyone have access to all the files? No, Stu. If you make a new account for your person, they will see a brand new blank slate. They will see a they will see if you go to where the files are. I'm over here. If I do the auto again, they will be like they're brand new. They won't see anything, okay? Until they actually create their own backup, they won't see anything. It's just like what this file looks like. This has nothing in it because it's been used as a demo account, right? I have paid to be a reseller, but on the power line, I am only listed as pre-enrollee. Sharon, it may show you as pre-enrollee, but if you've already paid, you're not a pre-enrollee. And you might check to make sure that isn't another account and not the account that you're actually paying on, because that happens a lot more than you realize. That people have more than one account and they don't understand where it is. Make sure you know which account you're in. And I like the security of that, Joel, that we are backed up and backed up and backed up. So there's no chance of us losing any of the important files that mean so much to us. And for me, I have an extensive music collection. I have a huge, huge, huge photo collection of family. I scanned all of the pictures from over the years and years because you might remember that I'm older than some of you. I had photographs, right? I didn't just have digital photographs. I had actual physical photographs. And I had scanned all of that, and it's all backed up in here. Everything's protected, Stu. As Joel is saying, it's very, very protected. Are the servers okay? You're asking Joel questions I don't know the answer to, but that's okay. Are there questions you need me to answer while we're in this? Cecil, what is it that you need me to help you with if you're lost? We're just looking at the cloud files where you can put your files, okay? That's where I am right now, is in the cloud. Got Backups cloud. Right, absolutely, Joel. None of us needs failures. Okay, is there any other questions that you need answered tonight? I think I was pretty thorough and I didn't get too complicated, I hope. I actually, there's so much more that this program does that I'm amazed. You can actually build files from scratch inside of here. If I click this right now, I want you to notice something as that comes up. Whoops, I went to the wrong one. I want you to notice the different choices you have. You can create a new text document. You can create a regular document. You can create a spreadsheet. You can create a presentation. And a whiteboard is something you can scribble on. So you have lots of choices in here. What's the best way to promote? I would actually, for especially for brand new people, the best way is to buy clicks. I'm telling you the truth, it's easier than anything because you don't have to worry about how many people to go and talk to in a day's time. Buy a reasonable amount of clicks, and and you have people coming into your list all the time. Is there an older video to take a new person through putting GBU on the computer? I made one. Joel, do you still have it? I made one for Joel on how to get started. Okay, if that's a support issue, Sharon, I suggest you work with support on that. But generally, you're not going to see yourself as a pre-enrollee if you have been paying. The best source of clicks are actually Traffic Authority, which we promote right in our back office. And like Bruce says, there's all sorts of ways that you can create leads. I like content creation, but a lot of people are afraid of it. But that's one of the best ways I have found to create leads for myself. I make a lot of video. Is it possible to have your training written in PowerPoint form? Oh my gosh, that would take a lot of PowerPoint slides. Elaine, the best way is to just come back and listen to the replay as many times as you need to. This will automatically be on YouTube the way we have it set up now. It'll be in the replay. Okay. Just play it as many times as you need because we went over a lot of stuff. And yeah, like Joel said, there's already a user. There's already a PDF, and it's very explicit. It works. It really talks about it. And I don't really know why you'd want it in a PowerPoint. That's not the most efficient way to create a guide. And I appreciate what you're saying, though. You want to see the pictures. But the guide that Joel's talking about already has pictures on it and it's easier to read. So I suggest you go get that. Perfect. We're aiming to please here. Can we still get host then profit? You'll have to ask Joel about that. Right now, I don't know what we're doing with that. I think that's going to come in as one of our products inside of our new system eventually. It's not set up to do it at this point, as far as I know. And Joel's going to get the link for the guide, so you can just go ahead and click it and grab it for yourself later. But it'll be in this chat as well. Yeah, I looked at the guide. I thought it was quite nice the way it's put together, so I think that's just perfect. And our media department and got in our whole programs, they're amazing actually. They do some really beautiful stuff. I do believe there is, Douglas, but I don't know that it has happened yet. It's called Done For You, and there is a fee of some, I don't know what the fee was. I think they're still holding off on starting that to make sure they get all the glitches. But once they know they've gotten them, they'll probably start that if you've paid for it. They're probably going to put another offer out there in a little while for it for Windows. Okay. I don't know. You're answering somebody's question, but I don't know what that's for. Okay. Any other questions you might have? You guys are really good. I'm glad for all of your questions. I actually operate on questions. Um, I don't actually want to just be the one that's just talking. I want to know what your questions are. There's software that converts spoken words to written words. Yes, absolutely, Bruce. You can do that. Can I link my power line to my paid account? It's already linked to it, Jared. The power line actually is just kind of a snapshot of what's happening with the downline, not just your own personal, but the whole company. But when you get in, I can show you that in here. When you get into if you look at the My Business tab, and then you come down here where it says My Downline, and it'll take a few seconds for that to come up. And you might notice that there's a big note on here about the power line, and it does explain it. So make sure and read this part right here at the top. But everybody, when they have their own personal people that get into their downline, they start out in this place called the holding tank. And you have the option yourself, if they're your direct that have joined you, to put them in your own power line. And this is your power line right here. Right here is your power line. And you can do that yourself anytime you want. You don't have to wait for anyone else to do it. In fact, I recommend you actually do. Keep it even or pretty close to even as much as you can. And then people will add to one of the legs. And what happens with mine is, on my case, it might be different on yours. My left leg kind of fills up on its own because of the people above me. And that's what they call, I guess you could call that spillover. But there are people that show up in here that I didn't invite to the company. And that's been happening for years, even before they started starting the power line. What would be the best first step to promote this? Sharon Hart, again, I really recommend, rather than trying to get on Facebook and understanding what works and what doesn't, and getting yourself really frustrated, because Facebook is not easy. Buy some clicks if you can. You don't have to have a lot of money to do that. It's really the best way for all of you newbies, because then those people are coming into your list. And then, like I showed you how to do a broadcast, You simply do a little broadcast. Try to do it as often as you can. I do it 6 days a week. I skip Sunday because that's kind of my day to kind of take off. I go to my church and spend time with family, but on the rest of the time, I send one of those a day. And I have a pretty good turnover, so that seems to work. Okay, thanks. I guess I'm misunderstanding the emails I'm getting. You will see the company emails depending on how you're in there. You're certainly welcome, Sharon. I want everybody to really feel comfortable with this and really feel like you understand it enough that you get excited and get in there and go, right? That's the major thing we want you to do. Because if you're a product of the product, first off, put some of your own downloads in there for heaven's sakes. It's not going to break. I believe me, if anybody could break the system, it'd be me because I'm the one that does the most stuff in there. And I have at times glitched it a little bit. But I can tell you for a fact, what time are the webinars? They're at 7:30 Eastern time. Joel's might be a little bit different in time. I think his is 8 o'clock Eastern. I don't know, Douglas. So we've done 7-day trials. We've done all sorts of different things. But think about it. Why do we need a trial for a $10 product? We usually do a trial for a larger cost. We're not actually doing a big cost on this product for what you're getting. A 30-day turnaround is a long time. No, it isn't. What is happening when you do a 30-day trial? And what's really, really good actually about it is that when someone pays and for whatever reason they decide they don't want it and they want their money back, you never have them coming back into your commissions and taking it out of that. But if we had a shorter turnaround, like a week or whatever, then that would mean that they would have to take it out of your commissions. Now, tell me, would you rather have them do that? I don't. We want to make sure that people are actually happy with their product. So they get the 30-day turnaround, and then that keeps it pleasant. And that keeps it really comfortable for you too. You don't have anybody taking anything out of your commissions. You actually have it coming to you. And it takes 30 days before you actually have it in your pocket, but that's good. Once you've got it, it's going to be a flow depending on how many people are on your team. Oh, you're talking about the $10 is only 33 cents a day? Well, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, how much are you spending on coffees and how much are you spending on nights out and how much are you spending on pizza and how much are you spending on other things like that you could sacrifice just one of those for a backup service, which you need anyway, and be able to share it with your family. How do we tell who is on our team? Like I said, it's going to show up right here on the My Downline folder. I'm in the My Business and My Downline folder. And everybody that is in your downline personally, that you have personally sponsored, are going to show up in here, right here. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are more than $10 that we're spending on. And yes, here's the other thing Joel just pointed out. Your own sponsor, when they see a page like this, see, here's Powerline paid members, and they have a fake one in here right now. And then your original sponsor is the last thing showing on here. And of course, it'll be a real person. This is a fake account. This is Yev just putting her name in there so that there's something there. But this is how it will look, okay? Yes, next, Kevin, it will be 50% of the $10. So think about what 50% looks like. And then how many people can you invite to become part of your personal team? because they need a backup anyway, right? Don't they? I mean, who doesn't need a backup? I had a hard drive failure, and luckily I was I had a whole bunch of pictures that I needed to get up into got back up, and the hard drive was making noise. So I stopped editing and I just threw them up there as fast as I could. Within about 12 hours after I had gotten everything up on Got Back Up, that hard drive was gone. And there were pictures in there that I would not have been able to save any other way. There were pictures I didn't have another copy of anywhere. And I'm pretty happy that I didn't lose those pictures. But they're all in the hard drive. They're all here in my cloud. I mean, they're in my cloud. And that really matters. You want to make sure people know that. Do you know anybody that hasn't already lost something of value on their phone or on their computer? Whether it was their C drive or another drive doesn't make any difference. It matters that almost everybody can relate to that because it's happened to them. So I don't think there's a question. It's a no brainer to me. I was so happy when we got this system. I was like jumping up and down. Since I came over from List Elevate, who is my enrollee in Got Backup? It would be the same person from List Elevate. You don't change whoever you're sponsored by. When you buy a different product, you still stay with that original person. Okay? And that's how we want it to be. We don't want anybody sponsor jumping. That's not a cool thing. Don't do that, please. That's not the kind of atmosphere we want in our company. But you should see if you go to your downline folder, My Business, and then downline, and you look to the very bottom, Jonathan, you should see that it is the same sponsor, whoever it was. I don't know who it was, of course, but if you look down there, you will see who it is. Okay? I hope that helps. Yeah, Sharon. It was totally amazing. I mean, I was like throwing it up there like you're throwing food at the wall. That's how fast I was putting it in. Yes, we do offer insurance. This is a peace of mind type insurance. Actually better than life insurance in a sense. Because I mean Joel tells a story about losing his baby pictures from his kids. Um, if you lose something that you don't have that you cannot replace, there's nothing you can do about it once that's done. Yeah, it's gone. And that drive was dead within 12 hours after I had completed the process. And I'm going to actually show you, and you'll be like flabbergasted when you see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, where are they now? I changed it a little bit. Pictures. What was it? Music. Music, my pictures. Are they in here? Yes. No? And in the backup. C, music from C, pictures from C. Where's oh, my folder is called Pictures from G, but this is the pictures I just talked about. I'm clicking up here at the top of the screen. And then did you know you can actually use your down arrows to scroll fast through this? I'm going to show you that this goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and I would have lost these. These are all in here. And I can access them anytime I want because they're safe on this system. And that is the real insurance of everything that you want from this program. So I'm looking for questions. Thanks, thanks, Joel. And that's not even half of it. You're probably amazed. And then also, if I go back here and I go to my music, music from G, I have a extensive music folder as well. But here's something else. You don't have to just keep pictures. This is music from our family. My grandmother playing the organ. My husband, his last videos, I interviewed him on a video and then I uploaded them in here. His brother playing music. Myself in my own my chorus I used to belong to. My sisters and I used to sing music, and this is just showing you this. This is just over the years coming off of tapes. If I'd have lost this, there's no replacing it. So that's the end of the story. I rest my case. How can you have any problem promoting this when you think about the value of your memories? And that's really what this is about, the value of your personal memories that you don't want to lose, and this is going to help them stay in a safe place. Yes, of course, Sharon, perfect for relatives. And another cool thing is you can say, let me be able to look at them and combine them with mine if I want to, if they're willing to let you do that. I mean, I look at, now are you thinking what? Absolutely your daughter. It can be anybody. Absolutely photographers. Photographers, wedding planners, anyone that does media that is around, large important media that they want to save. Can I sync iCloud or OneDrive? Yes, I do. I have them coming to my hard drive and then I sync them up into the cloud. If I go back to my files, I have from C, and I have 3 sync files that are from my hard drive, but the OneDrive, the iCloud is my iPhone, and the download folder, because sometimes I don't clean it out very often. I've been doing better with that, but sometimes I leave a lot of stuff in the download folder. So I decided to put the download folder up here, and there's things in here I've actually deleted out of the download folder, but they're in here. Like for instance, if you can notice, I've got some videos, I've got some audios, I've got some various different PDFs in here, and so they're in here. So I'm really waiting and seeing if you have any questions. Otherwise, if you're happy that you understand this, who could you share this with now that you understand what this is really about? It's not about how much money can you make fast. It's about who can you help to share to save their memories in a safe place. Put it in the cloud, Sharon. You can play it in the cloud. When I go back to the music link here, there's so much in here, it takes a minute for it to upload. I can actually play these. These are actual folders of music, and I can actually play them. You might notice as I roll my mouse over them, a play button comes up. You have a playlist right inside of Got Backup if you have music or any audio file. Yeah, exactly, Bruce. People with computers know any? That's awesome. That's awesome that you're doing that. That's how you do it. Just reach out to people, tell them your story, or you can tell them my story, or you can tell them Joel's story. If you don't have an actual loss of files, then congratulations, most people do. Anybody with pictures? How many people do you know that have everything loaded up in Facebook because they think that's a safe place for their pictures? It's not. Hello. They need to get them off of there. I've lost a profile. I've lost a profile on Facebook. I've lost 3 in YouTube. Social media is not safe. So you need them in here so that they're safe. So you can get to them also. Are you talking about people that have been added from people that are in your upline? I understand. That's probably what you're talking about, right? That they're in the power line, but they're not your personal uh, referrals. Yeah, ever heard of Facebook jail? You're right, Bruce. Absolutely. Oh my God. I don't know how many times I've been put on Facebook jail. But I'll tell you what, I lost a whole Facebook profile because I was too political for a while and they didn't like that. And they actually caused a fake hack and took away my profile because they admitted it later. I mean, talk about something nasty. They did, honest to God. So no, there it's not safe. We use it as a tool. It's a good place to start becoming friendly with someone, but it's not a good place to save your files. And I know people that upload all kinds of stuff in Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or you name it, whatever. You lost a LinkedIn account? Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah. I bet you a lot of people can say that that has happened to them. So don't count that as a safe place for your stuff. It is not. It's a good place to make friends that can turn into customers. I don't know of any particular text messages which actually help people decide to become new members of your. It's better to become friends with them and just get acquainted than to try to just push them into the product when they don't know you. There's just way too many people on Facebook that have gotten too many of those kind of messages, and I tell you, they're just not going to turn on that way. It's better to try to get friendly, let them become your friend, let them kind of get used to you. The better way is probably to use our new cookied webinar link, which will now be cookied to you if it has your username in it, that they can actually get to the YouTube. And we're doing it twice a week. Joel's doing Wednesday, I'm doing Monday. Okay? That's what I recommend. Yeah. Now you guys are being really cute. Yeah. Know anybody with a computer that likes money? Who doesn't like money? We all like money. I'll tell you what's fun is when you actually start having enough of it, you can buy something you want. That feels good. I don't see any new questions. Yeah. Yeah, if they get the Stu, if they get the family account, yes, they get 6 accounts, which means one of them is yours and 5 you can give away. Okay? which is the $9.99 a month. Exactly. As far as I know, Joel is not going to do that. Yeah, I believe that too, Joel. When people say no to something as low as $9.99, then that's not about the price. That's about something else. Because who doesn't have $9.99? I mean, I know people that are throwing that away because they don't even look at what they're spending for that amount. And thanks, Joel. I guess Joel's my unofficial monitor tonight. But anyway, it's been fun. If you guys have any new questions, please make sure and let me know before we close this down if you have any that you need answered. Do you ever fear reaching capacity? Oh gosh, we're not even close to that. We're just starting. I hear that, like they used to say it with network marketing in particular, that it's saturated. But there's so many people on the planet, that's just really not possible. Have you actually contacted everybody in the entire world? Yes, Sharon, you can use any Gmail account you want to. I don't actually. I use my business account, which is Linda at Linda Cromer online, and I don't get overdone with people emailing me. I really haven't had that happen, so I don't see that that's a big problem. But actually, it's better to use something that looks professional. That's all that I would recommend as far as an email. That's how much our whole company is using for this product. Wow, that's huge. Oh my gosh. I would use your Facebook profile, Sharon. That's what I am doing. You talking about in that email? I am using the Facebook profile as a contact because automatically they can hit the message off of that. So, yeah, we're not going to get saturated for maybe 150 years from now that might happen, but you guys aren't going to be alive that from that point on. And then this is going to be handed down to Joel's son, I guess, at that point. But I mean, right now, don't worry. Have to have 900 million a year. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Yeah, I haven't seen any company grow at that kind of pace. No matter what I've been in, nothing has grown at that pace that I have known. And that's pretty, I mean, we're growing at an amazing pace right now with Got Backup as we're going. I really like using the YouTube. I noticed there's an awful lot more engagement tonight than I've seen in the past, and I love that. Well, Joe, doesn't look like there's any new questions. Should we wrap up? Is everybody satisfied that I've answered your questions and helped you understand it? Is there anything else you need to know to understand our product? Goodyear, no tires. No questions yet? No more questions? Everybody happy that they understand it? This is a simple program, and it is on a premise that nobody should have a hard time understanding. Everybody should be backing up their programs. Everybody should be backing up their pictures. Everybody should be backing up anything that is of value that you don't want to lose. And then share it with everyone in your family, and you're going to be in a good place. And boy, your family's going to love you for that. So that's what you've got, and I love it myself. You're certainly welcome. I'm really glad you came. I'm really glad we can have this. I like this a lot better right now because this is very, very user friendly. I think everybody likes it. Good idea. Use the Facebook profile. Yes. I just think that's more friendly. I know I have pages. A lot of people use pages, but for my first contact, I want them to come to my profile. You're certainly welcome, Ed. I hope you important. Yeah, we want to help everybody. We don't want people to be frustrated, especially anyone brand new. I'm glad that you really got here. And you know what? I want to make sure, especially the newbies, but also you guys that have been on the computers, you understand the internet. There's still some stuff that you can learn that is fun as well. Let's have a good night and thanks for coming. I'm going to go ahead and say good night then.